And in today's episode, we're going to be teaching you how to integrate Git with Jira.
Hey, welcome to the DevOps Roundup.
And in today's episode, we're going to be teaching you how to integrate Git with Jira. Now, this technically can be any Git with any project management tool that supports it, but we're going to be focusing because, if you're a fan of the podcast here, you know how much we love our Atlassian tool. So we're going to be showing you how to integrate Bitbucket with Jira. And again, a lot of these elements are going to apply whether you're on GitHub or GitLab. But the core thing is we got Git and we got a project management tool, again, in this case, Jira, talking to each other and kind of show you some of the benefits that you get from a developer perspective, from a project management perspective, and just kind of talk about why this is a good idea. Because surprisingly, a lot of teams that I work with, Sean, don't have this integration for some reason.
That is an oddity because that's usually some of the first integration that a
Yeah.
project team will require.
Well, I mean, they have Git and they are using Jira, but what they'll do is they'll have like a repository URL custom field
Mhm,
where they put their PRs or they put the URL in there.
mhm.
I'm like, what are y'all doing here? You're killing me.
Well, I would argue that that is probably the lowest level or the low bar to defining an integration between the two tools.
All right. Well, what we're gonna do is I am inside of Jira here, and the first thing that we're gonna want to do is we want to go get our Git connected with Jira, and so there's a couple of different ways to do that. And I'm going to show you some free ways. I'm going to show you some paid ways, just to kind of balance things out. And so I go to my app section inside of Jira and we come down here to explore more apps. And once I'm inside of explore more apps, I'll typically just type in Git. Now, as you can see, we're going to have quite a few options. We have the Git Kraken, Git integration for Jira. This is a sponsored video that I am working on the side. So this is the whole reason why this is on top of my mind, because I got to figure out how that one works. But if you're on GitHub, Atlassian makes a free, completely free GitHub for Jira. Or they recently renamed it GitHub for Atlassian. I don't know if you caught that one, Sean, recently.
I did not notice the difference.
Yeah, it used to be called GitHub for Jira. They send out an email to everybody. They rebranded to GitHub for Atlassian. Interesting play, I think, in my opinion, because Jira is so much more well known than Atlassian is.
That is true. It's interesting they dropped the product name. Is that giving us clues to the future of Atlassian?
I think,
I almost said products, but I guess we're supposed to call them apps now.
yeah, app, yeah. But this is the one. This is one of the more popular ones. And then if you're on the GitLab side, I just found out that this one's free too. I did not know that GitLab had one. I know that in the past, like 2 years ago, if you wanted to integrate with GitLab, you had to go get something like GitKraken's Git integration for Jira. But it's nice to see that there's one that's free now. And then the Bitbucket is natively built in, so you don't need an app because Atlassian and Bitbucket talk to each other.
Mhm.
But let's just I might switch back over to GitHub then instead of doing Bitbucket. I lied to y'all. Sorry. Please don't unsubscribe from the channel. I have the GitHub here. We'll just go with GitHub and see if it works because I just haven't been able to make it work. So a couple of spoilers or a couple of teasers or things that you should know is you do need to be an administrator to install the app in Jira. And
Mhm.
to get the integration to work, you need to be an administrator on the GitHub side as well.
Yes.
So rule of thumb is you either you watching the video are either an admin in both, or you get your GitHub admin and you temporarily make them like a site or org admin so they can do the connection and then remove the privilege right away.
To interrupt you for a second and ruin your train of thought, do you see where it only got 2.7 out of 4 stars?
Yeah, I see that.
Let's look at the reviews. I'm curious on who gave it a 1 star and what.
I mean, is it fair though? It's got I guess 500 reviews, but 161,000 installs.
Yeah, that's a lot of installs.
That's a lot of
It
installs.
seems to be the primary integration tool between the two applications, I guess.
Let's see, a lot
Can
of
you
high
sort by
stars.
stars?
I was checking to see, but no, it's either most helpful. There you
Hmm.
go.
Oh, here we go.
2020.
Former user. Yeah.
It works. I think the issue most people have is that they aren't installing GitHub app along with the Jira app, that both have been installed for this to work. You can find the best instructions on the actual GitHub repo. However, the reason I'm getting a 1 star is the utter lack of abilities to do really anything useful. You can pretty much only control the integration via Git commands, commits, and can only control ticket through the Git commits. Yeah.
So
So
this is a 5-year-old review.
yeah, but it's interesting that they have this review here because one of the reasons, again, not sponsored here, but one of
Mhm.
the reasons why GitKraken has reached out to me and going, "Hey, Alex, let's make a video," because I basically went and I sat down with GitKraken back in April of this year,
Okay.
2025, and I said, "Why would I pay for your app when I can get the free version?"
Yeah.
And this review here summarizes it because their app
Mhm.
goes beyond just the handshake, right? Because this app literally just establishes a handshake
Yeah.
between the tools, and that's it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any project management? Any discovery? Any like risk management? Any automation? Like it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
So yeah, this
Well,
is an
what's
interesting one.
Ola have to say?
All of this unfortunately does not work properly. New, and this is from 5 or 6 years ago. New smart commit syntax is different from the previous one, and now old tickets lost the development information because Jira issue ID was in lowercase and now it has to be uppercase. Only
Yeah.
uh, some technicalities.
That most likely has been fixed in the 6 years that she wrote that.
You'd think Atlassian would have like a you know these apps get updated so
Yeah,
frequently.
you'd think that they would, validate the reviews on the version of the app it was reviewed on.
These are old ones. Here's a 2020. Here's a week ago, a month
Okay.
ago. This app has not been working since August 5th, 2025. We see this as a critical service deterioration. Please fix this app ASAP.
Okay.
That was helpful, Yulia.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly what's broken. All right, here's a more
What
recent
did
one.
Atlassian respond?
I really appreciate you taking the time to give us some feedback on your experience with GitHub for Atlassian. We had an incident on August 5th, which has been resolved. Please
Okay.
let us know if you're having any ongoing problems. You know, you don't appreciate outages until it impacts your ability to commit your code.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's a big issue with the cloud-based products or SaaS-based products is the outages are completely out of your control.
Yeah.
With on-prem, yeah, if it's a some emergency happens, it's out of your control. But if you're upgrading or doing some sort of maintenance, you control the outage. Um, so
Yeah,
it's
let's see Jackie's.
interesting.
We'll look at Jackie's the last and then we'll get back to it. So while
Sure,
this
yeah.
is a decent tool for connecting Jira to code repos, it currently asks for too much expansive write permissions in repos, and there's no way to limit it or adjust permissions levels to read only.
Mm.
There's no reason this app should need admin permissions. We are currently just not approving permission updates, but if it ever breaks, we will have to discontinue use. This is a good one. This is a good valid reason.
Yeah, I guess it is, but I would disagree. There is reasons why you want this integration to have write privileges
Yeah,
because you need to write the information from one tool to another.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, I get that, but I think having the granularity, I think, is a valid reason to be concerned. But I do understand that, like you said, this thing needs to talk to each other.
yeah, it would be nice if there was a middle ground and you could say this integration can only write, only write to this field, or to these specific repos or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, how would you have an integration that had read only in both products?
So once you have it installed, you then need to go in and again, you need to get your GitHub admin to sit down with you, or somebody's got to make you a GitHub admin.
Mhm.
But you're gonna come into the GitHub for Atlassian app, and you will click on this Get Started button, and then that's gonna redirect you to where you're gonna basically tell it where's your code at, right? And look, we now have a permission section, so that code might that section might have
Maybe
been a
that
little
comment
old.
was spoken to, although
Yeah.
it was only a
So look
month
at this.
old.
Yeah, we have new requests that are coming through, and I did this integration a while ago, so I'm in the danger zone. Suspend.
So, release team, DevOps tool specialists. We provide professional services and software reselling around the leading software DevOps tools like Atlassian, GitLab, GitHub, JFrog, and others. To talk with us about DevOps, here's our contact information. Please call 866 887-0489, or via email at info@releaseteam.com.
Suspend? No, dude, let's not do that. But yeah, no, you definitely get. Looks like you get more now.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what happened here. Okay. So anyway, so you'll come in here, you'll click configure, and then you'll basically it'll ask you to it automatically pops you into GitHub, and it's automatically gonna say, okay, where your stuff at, right? What repos you want to bring over, all that
Mhm.
good stuff. You hit accept, approve, all the good stuff, and then Git is now connected with your organization.
Mhm.
Okay. So now this is where the fun begins, because once you have that done, that you're kind of done there. It does take a minute though to sync, especially if you have large repositories. So maybe do it overnight or something, so it's ready for you to go in the morning.
Mhm.
But then the instructions aren't very clear on what you do next. But essentially, what you do next is, if Jira would like to function correctly,
Did you break Jira?
there's a bug here. I don't understand why Atlassian pushed this product to production. I'm clicking this button and nothing's happening.
I believe you.
I've been in this situation many a times, and you can't, like, I got to get out of Jira and come back into Jira for this to work, and this is not.
Oh, this
I
has been
first
happening for a little bit,
since
right?
since they moved to the new UI,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
Well,
made a
I've
video on how this
experienced
is a
that as
bug.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody hates me for hating the new UI, but when it's
Mhm.
broken like this, it's kind of hard not to hate it.
Yeah.
All right. So what you do next then is you go into your Jira and you find your story, right? Whatever your developer is
Mhm.
going to be working on. And then there's a development section on the right hand side of your Jira interface. And so from within here, you're going to be able to create your branches. You're going to be able to create commits. You can either click on the buttons, or if you hover and click over here on the right hand side, you get the actual command. So you can do this whether you're in your terminal, whether you're in Visual Studio Code, or
Yeah.
your favorite
You,
IDE
you,
of
you
choice.
copy this and drop down to a terminal.
Right. So whatever you want, or you can just click the button and then pick your repository. And this is where I was having some trouble earlier. This was not working for me, but now it works.
Good.
Yay. Okay.
I was expecting to have to troubleshoot this with you.
It was crapping out for me. I think I had to update those permissions that I had not done
Oh,
recently.
possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. So then once you do this, inside of GitHub, your repository will show up. So here it is, AL-9. And this is as far as you need, right? Like as soon as you have the key, so in case you missed it, because we didn't call it out, for the integration to work, you need the work item key
Mhm.
to be anywhere in the branch, or anywhere in your PR, or anywhere in your commit.
In your comment. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just needs to be in there somewhere. As
Mhm.
long as it's in there, then Bob's your uncle. And when I refresh my story, you will see that now, instead of just having like create the branch, we now see the branch.
Mhm.
And this is kind of like, this is as far as this integration goes. And this is again why you want something. Again, starting to sound like I'm preparing for my sponsored video, but you want something like GitKraken, because this is as far, you've hit the ceiling on what
Mhm.
this app can do.
Yeah.
It's just going to give you situational awareness
Mhm.
of your branches, your commits, and your PRs. Anything above and beyond that, you're going to have to fork over some cash for something like GIJ.
Yeah.
But let's keep working through this, right? So we have our branch. We have some stuff here. And so what I like to do is, inside your code, I'm just going to create a new file, and I'm just going to do, typical HTML. Man, I'm hard coding this.
I'm not sure anyone can see the text. Can you make it bigger?
I don't know that I want anybody to see my coding. I'm coding out of memory. I haven't written a. You got to put a head in here somewhere too, right?
You don't have to, but that's common. Um, the only thing you really need is the body, and of course the open and closing. Sean's the best. So I think a lot of people would question that, but
All right. So I got some code in here,
yeah.
right? And I'm going to commit my changes, save my changes, do something with my changes.
Mhm.
Control S. Oh, I got to name my file.
Oh,
It's smarter
that's
than
what's
me.
popping up. Yeah.
Um,
Just call it
uh,
index.html. Yeah.
dodo.html.
Oh,
Okay. So then I'm going to commit my changes. And again, you can be doing this in the command line. You can be doing this. I love the flexibility here, right? Wherever you're comfortable with. I'm a very visual person. You take away my mouse and keyboard, and or take away at least the mouse, and I'm lost. And so don't tell everybody in the community. And then you're gonna put your well, you put your message in here, right? Now, because the key is already in there, we do not have to continuously add the key. But if this was the first time you were like, let's assume that you already had a branch, and then you want to connect it with Jira, this would be your next opportunity to put the key, and then um, it'll connect it.
Yeah.
So we're good here. I'm just gonna commit it, and my commit's good to go. And when I switch back over to Jira and I do a refresh, that commit is not going to be visible over here, or it should be, unless I didn't push it all the way through.
You may have to wait a little bit. Or did you?
Let's see. I committed it. I'm one commit ahead of master. I don't know if I need to pull yet.
You have to do the contribute.
I have to do the what?
See where it says contribute over on the there you go.
But that's to initiate the pull request, no? I'm not ready to do a pull request. I want to show the pull request.
Okay. All right.
Let's try
and
to refresh again.
You want to do the pull request from
You know what? Maybe you do need to put the dumb key in here. Let's try that again with the key and see if it works any different.
Sure.
So we're learning on the spot here, folks. It's been a minute. So I'm going to go back to Dodo, and I'm just going to add.
Why don't you do some indentations?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a body here, or just a paragraph. Subscribe to the channel and commit those changes. I'm going to do my message. Subscribe and hit commit changes. Yeah. So now my message has the key, and now let's refresh this one and see if it catches it. If it does need that, I'm gonna be so mad. Yeah, I didn't think it did, so I don't know what happened. Let's do this. Let's create one of the things that you can do. Okay, so include an AL. So I did do that. Maybe now we just need to wait. Is it a waiting game? No, doesn't look like it. I know I
have to wait this long.
Yeah, it's supposed to be faster. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here, though. I feel like it's looking at
on the main. You're on the master branch. Yeah,
that's probably what it is. Well, no, I've been working out of that branch, AL9, and I have AL9 here is in my commit message. Jira.
Did you add the file to the repo?
Well, I did it.
You did a commit, so you had to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it from here natively, so it would have gone through. Just telling me we're 2 branches ahead. Supposed to do it. Let's try one last time here. I did an AL9. There it is. It's just okay. So it's just a syncing problem.
So yeah, longer.
But it is interesting. So we do stand corrected. You will only see them if you put the keys in there. So you're gonna want to make sure you're diligent there, and put your key in there. That's slightly annoying. That's more annoying than I thought it would be. No wonder the developers hate this.
Once a branch is connected to the work item, it should record all the changes.
Yeah. It should, but apparently it's not, because I do have 2 commits in here. The nice thing though, so as a project manager, you can see this stuff here. So you'll go. One of the key things that I'm going to show you real quick before we go to the pull request is that this story could have been in to do. And what I love to do is that the moment that a developer opens up a branch, I like to get a transition to in progress.
Yes.
You can do that by going to your project settings, going to your automation here, and you can create an automation rule where the trigger is going to be, let's see if we can go down. Our trigger is going to be down here there's a DevOps section under where your branch is created.
Yeah.
And then your action can be the transition. And so now we can transition to in progress. And so that way, if your developers are not updating Jira,
this will at least nudge it forward for them.
So what we'll do is we'll create a new branch for another item, just so I can kind of show this to you. but you essentially do this for all of them, right? So this is again, it's going to help you because if your developers hate being in Jira anyways, and so this is going to help your developers stay where they like to live, right?
Yeah.
Stay in their domain,
Hmm.
but Jira's updated so that your PM doesn't have to be hounding them to say what's the status here.
Yeah.
So do this. You want this.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
automations is probably the easiest way and the way that I would recommend now, but you could also do this in the workflow.
You can. Yeah. I just like it because it's a little bit more visual.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna create an AL8, and this story for AL8 was in, as you can see up here in to do. But see how it automatically went to in progress. I didn't have to do anything. It
Hmm.
automatically went to in progress simply because it's connected with that trigger now. Okay. Now the fun part, right? So coming back to our
This has
AL9.
all been fun so far.
Well, this is my favorite part, right? So when we're ready, right, when you've done all your commits and you're going to see the great outline of all that, you're going to do your PR, right? Seriously, subscribe, right? And so once you have your description, you have all that good stuff, you're going to create your pull request. And a couple more cool things happen, right? So again, through automation, there's a trigger that can let you move your code into or your story into code review because now your PR is in progress,
Hmm.
right? But there's a development section that's not within the ticket that's over here in its own dedicated area. And when you click on that, you will then get your open PRs here. And you're going to get that information here. And
Hmm.
so this is a great view to see again everything at a glance so you can see all the different PRs that your teams are working on. Additionally, on the board itself, you will see this thing kind of changes icons on you. And so you can now see the development information without having to open the story. So
Sure.
this is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
And of course my AL8, oh that's the old one. This one is the one we're working out of. Let
Yeah.
me move it to in progress since that one
So
was the one we were
pull
working on.
request is pretty much a create branch backwards or upside down.
Yeah. And eventually, it's interesting that the rest of the tool has caught up, but not the story itself. There it is. So then eventually, what you also the other benefit that you get then as a like a project manager is you can go, okay, I don't have to go bug my developers to get statuses because I can see that the pull request is open.
Hmm.
But now this is where I'm watching these pull requests because a pull request shouldn't be open for more than a day or two.
Yeah, it shouldn't be short lived. Yeah.
Right. So if you're looking at this on a Monday and by Wednesday you still got an open pull request, this is where you can go click on this stuff
Hmm.
and figure out
Yeah.
who has the PR, right? And so normally inside your PR, you would have your reviewers here on the right hand side, so you know who to go and talk to again without having to bother that developer. And then what's also great is if somebody I don't even if somebody does approve the pull request, right? You will see, and there's an automation rule. So if the PR is merged, I can then move it to like verification, QA,
Yeah.
whatever
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 that
status,
next step is. Yeah.
yeah, whatever your next status is. But more importantly, again, here within this view, I can then see if I have a PR that's in sorry, if I have a story that's in progress, but I have a merged PR,
Hmm.
then that means my developers are ahead of where Jira's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you want to go follow up with that. Again, I don't know why Jira takes so freaking long here to catch up. Because over here, I have 0 open, and you can see that it got merged. So
Yeah.
eventually, Jira catches up, and see, here we go. We even have it checked off over here. We have a good, and then you'll have a red one if it's rejected, right? And
Mhm.
then you can do automation rules for what happens if your PRs get rejected. But once it finally ever decides to say merged, it'll say merged here, and the benefit is you again can talk there. It is now you can go, okay, well, what happened? Why are we in progress? I have code merged code. You can
Yeah.
go have that conversation. But yeah, those are some of the benefits. Again, to help you be a little bit more optimized in your communication
Mhm. Yeah.
without having to send a crap ton of emails or Slack messages or trying to figure out what's going on. This makes it easy to stay up to date, know who to ask at a better time. If this was a merge PR, right, which it is, this is something that I'm going to add to my sprint demo. I want to see this because I know that code has been merged.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
and this is also information that you could gather and put in release notes or the software verification document.
Yeah, and if you enjoy this, let us know so we can continue with our deployment part, because you can see if you can tease it. We have builds and deployments and feature flags that we can go and look at. So if you like this kind of video, let us know in the comment section so that maybe we can do a couple more videos on you to take this further. But this right here is my minimum. Like if you are a development team using Git and you're using Jira, this is bare bones. This should be day zero onboarding
Yeah, this is what you need to be familiar with.
minimum.
Yeah,
Then you can do the build stuff.
exactly. Yeah. Well, like and subscribe, and we'll call this one a kind of a short one, short and sweet.
Yeah. Hopefully helped you out. Again, work with your teams and make sure you get these configured. Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks. Bye, everyone.